So, Trevor, tell us what your first film was about, and did you enjoy making it?
So my first film was called How to Solve a Gratuitous Murder, and I came up with the idea because I didn't want to do a regular film for my first one. I wanted it to be a comedy at first. And what began as a straight-up comedy kind of turned into a half comedy, half serious exploration where we followed a detective played by myself, known as Detective Peter Favre, solving a very bizarre murder case. Am I fine with how it came out? I'd say when I was about halfway through the process of editing, I was starting to get slightly unhappy with having to cut certain things out because we did film enough to go 2 minutes overboard with what we actually needed. But as I started to put the finishing touches on, I realized that the parameters for the film were actually very nice and helpful in that it was able to condense the film in a way that I found it to be more beautiful in how compact it was, and that finished product was really what I ended up enjoying, and it actually turned out much better than if I had left it at its original length. Some aspects, such as the music, became so much better because of the shortness of the video.
Very nice. Do you have any ideas what the next film is going to be about?
So the next film, it's quite a weird hybrid. I always want to include a bit of comedy. I always want a bit of satire in my films. And at first, this film, just like the first one, started off as just comedy. Just comedy. It was going to be a restaurant owner who was quite unlawful, but was very unknowing about how criminal his activities were. But then I actually got some inspiration from recent political events, recent tragedies as well. And I realized that although I want to keep some comedy in this one, I actually want to have a subtle message. In some cases in the film, not so subtle, and get into some subject areas that might be actually uncomfortable for some people, but might bring some new things to light for people to think about. Which isn't an area I usually explore in terms of video. Usually that might be me talking to someone one-on-one, so it's going to be very new for me.
Yeah, that's nice. Have you started filming your second video yet?
No, not yet. With the recent break that came up, nobody was really around to film just yet, and in addition to that, though I have most of the parameters for the second film fully thought up of, it's hard when you take a serious film from what was originally going to be a comedy and just start it, because when you're trying to make a point, it's different from trying to make somebody laugh, and you can get a lot more unsure of where to start.
All right. Well, thank you, Trevor.
No, thank you. Thank you.